Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Underneath the Hood. I'm Dave Martin, the owner of Martin's Auto Repair in Central Phoenix.
I'm Glen Hayward, the proud owner of Goodworks Auto Repair in sunny Tempe, Arizona.
And I'm Lee Weatherby with Accurate Automotive in the heart of Mesa.
And together, we represent 140 years of combined automotive experience.
Our goal is to change the perception of our auto repair industry by going behind the scenes and underneath the hood.
And we hope to share with you what it's like to own a small business and give you a perspective from an insider's point of view.
So let's get started.
Well, hello, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Great, David. How you doing, man?
Dave, Lee, great to see you guys again.
You as well.
Yeah.
You guys are looking exceptional today.
Exceptional.
Exceptional.
Wow.
Look like you get some good rest.
With no exceptions.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but thanks anyway, man. Appreciate that. Hey, so welcome everybody to our podcast. And if you really enjoy the show, please like and subscribe. We'd appreciate it.
We'd love to hear from you too.
And
The subscribe part is free, by the way.
it is. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I know you tried.
One day we're going to charge big money for this, so take advantage and subscribe now before
Never gonna do that.
I told Glenn asking for credit card numbers was not a good idea.
No, typically doesn't go over too big.
You know what? Free is a bad word most of the time when it comes to cars, but I will tell you this: I hope this always remains free and that people use it to the best of their capability.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to keep your salary low, just so you know. I mean, really low.
I'm not sure it can get any lower than what it is.
Well, you're going to start paying. Just so you know.
So we got a really cool topic.
I'll tell you what, Glenn. Before we do that, let's do a day in history.
Man, history. My wife says you're history every so often, or you could be history. On this day in automotive history, that's the good kind of history because we love automotive stuff. May 12th in 1988, the Ford Probe officially debuted as a new front-wheel drive coupe. Its futuristic aerodynamics-focused design intended to mimic a spacecraft. Wow.
The Ford Probe.
Now, all of us have seen the Probe when it first came out. Some of us were already in the automotive repair business back then. Mm-hmm. And it was a very different looking vehicle. And, it's somewhere around there. What's the one from Back to the Future? The DeLorean.
The DeLorean, yeah.
And they had a lot of cars in that era that were coming out that they did look like spacecraft, something, out of...
Didn't they come up with a Fiero and stuff like that?
Yeah,
that came
all
out,
kinds of things
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to do something to copycat and jump off of someone else's ideas, but apparently, Ford led the charge on this one, and they said it was intended to look like mimic a spacecraft. So there you go.
Wasn't that a Ford Mazda thing too? But didn't Mazda have something to do with that?
I don't know. I don't know if they were merged at that time in '88. But
yeah, I know Ford and Mazda did a few things together. Right?
Oh, lots of things.
They did. They had pickup trucks that they were doing.
Yeah.
Right.
The B3000, the B2000s. They did a lot of that.
I thought the Probe was one of those.
And they probably shared some components.
Yeah,
I know that they were working, building each other parts. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about a quote of the day?
I like it. So we're speaking now. We went to the past. Now we're going to speak of the future. And so the quote of the day has to do with the future. You ready for this? Success in creating AI, you know what AI is, would be the biggest event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last, unless we learn how to avoid the risks. That was Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
And that's true. Think about it. It's absolutely true.
Look at AI today.
Yeah.
I mean, I went and I did a class on AI because I'm old and I wanted to see how this thing was. And
I did a class as well.
Yeah, and the young lady that taught the class was probably 30 years old, and she'd been using it for almost 10 years now. And she said when it first came out, it was hard to use. But she said it has made leaps and bounds. It is insane what that thing can do now.
The interesting thing, and this is one of the things I learned in our class, is that the average, they talk about intelligence scores and things of that nature. The average AI has 100, you know what I mean, as its marker. You know what the average human intelligence score is?
47? I don't know. Taking a wild guess. Wild stab.
83.
Oh, wow.
So they say that AI has a higher marker than average, you know what I mean, an average human. You thought, wow, I thought that was pretty interesting. Doesn't mean they're always right, because guess who has to teach AI? That's the other thing. Humans have to teach AI. So AI can it can have a hallucination, if you will. You know what I mean? It can report things incorrectly and stuff of that nature.
Well, and it's also too in how you ask it.
You bet.
The questions, and it's no different than humans. I mean, when somebody asks you a question and you don't understand the question, it's probably not going to give them a really good answer.
You bet.
And so if the AI, which is artificial intelligence,
right,
and that's what we're talking about today, because they're starting to use it in our industry. You know, they've been using it in a lot of industries, and they're starting to use it to really diagnose cars, to people are using it, and people used to use Google before, which was kind of like AI.
It was AI.
Just
pre.
Yeah, this is more, it's like Google on steroids.
Correct.
So, and some of the things that people...
I'm actually kind of excited about today, because I think we're going to ask AI some questions, right?
Well, there's 6 questions that are the most asked questions that AI gets when it comes to the automotive industry.
Pretty cool.
And let's start by number 1. My brake pedal.
That's a good place to start.
Well, we can start at number 6 and go backwards if we want to.
We could.
But
then we'd have to talk
Are you okay
back.
with that?
Hey, I think
talk backwards. So
I think we start with 1 and move on down.
Work our way till the end. All right. Go ahead, Dave.
Can I go now, Glenn?
You may.
I'm a
okay?
conventionalist.
You have my permission.
Okay, thank you very much, Glenn.
Don't let me interrupt.
Okay, my brake pedal, squishy or spongy, is that dangerous?
It feels squishy or spongy. Is that
My
dangerous?
brake pedal feels squishy or spongy. Is that dangerous? Well, I'm going to say if I got that call on the line and somebody asked me, it feels squishy or spongy, is that dangerous? I would say inadvertently, absolutely yes. It is dangerous. It could be, because potentially the problems are so varied. You
there's a number of things that can cause that to happen,
you bet.
and all of them could result in something dangerous.
You bet.
You can't stop your car properly.
Well, whenever, and all 3 of us probably feel the same way about this, is when a customer calls us up and they're talking about their brakes, doing just about anything.
Err on the side of caution.
Yeah, right. The last thing I want to do is say, yeah, go jump in that car and drive it.
Hey, drive it on down. Don't hit the building when you get here.
Yeah, and then they call me and tell me they were in an accident. I don't want to hear that.
No.
So the thing of it is even if we're probably, I would say 75% sure that it's okay to drive, we still are err on the side of caution, because we don't want somebody to get hurt, obviously.
Well, yeah, and then they could say, well, they told me to drive it in, and now I crashed into somebody.
Well, the hardest thing is, and this is what I mean, and I don't mean this to be funny, but it
You're
does.
usually not.
Well, but it does kind of make it pause for a moment. You don't have a crystal ball, but you have a little bit of information, and you have to make a good decision from the little bit of information and input that you have. And squishy, spongy, and brakes, like you said, is it dangerous? Just inherently, it says yes.
Right. So let me ask you this, guys. I'm going to go around the table here. What do you think is causing the pedal to be squishy or spongy?
They could have probably air in the brake lines, or they have a problem with the brake booster.
Could be that they have a leaking line, a leaking hose, that their calipers could be leaking. There could be an internal leak in the master cylinder. There's a number of things that could cause squishy brakes or spongy brakes.
So let's find out what AI says.
What do you think, Dave?
What do I think?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think it causes squishy or spongy brakes?
Squishy or spongy brakes, probably. You guys kind of summed it up. I'm kind of with you guys on what you said. The diagnostic reality is, yes, it is a safety concern. It usually indicates air in the brake lines or a brake fluid leak.
Yeah.
It's a hydraulic problem.
Yes, it is.
That's kind of what we're going with.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say, but I thought, you know what, let's see what ChatGPT in older cars, it might be a failing master cylinder.
There you go.
Bypassing internal.
You bet.
Yeah.
Right?
You bet.
So when people don't, sometimes when a customer is telling you they're squishy or they're spongy or any of that stuff, sometimes what's happening is there's a plunger.
Right.
When you step on that brake pedal, it pushes that against the brake fluid and pushes it down into the wheels. Well, if fluid gets around that, the pedal's going to go down a lot farther.
You bet. And in the older cars, they had proportioning valves, and the proportioning valve is bypassing or stuck. it's just not stopping.
One other thing that came to mind too is that if your brake adjusters aren't actually adjusting your brakes as you're stopping, your pedal's going to keep going lower and lower. This will happen over a period of time. It could take months before but it happens at such a slow rate that you may not really realize it until it becomes a problem and your pedal's going 3/4 of the way down to the floor before it'll start stopping the car.
Well, I like it. Well, I'm glad. I will tell you this though. It makes me feel good that I'm 100. You know what I mean? Because I'm at least 100 today. I got what I got.
You don't look a day over 60.
Well, and one thing I did want to bring up is that you said a proportioning valve too. The thing of it is if two of your brakes are working and two of them aren't,
it's going to feel funny.
You're going
to have a hard pedal. You'll have a hard pedal before you'd have a squishy pedal.
Yeah.
In the case like that.
And there again,
regardless.
Yeah.
Something to be concerned about.
Well, what's number 2?
So number 2 is, why does my car shake when I hit the brakes at high speeds?
Generally, that's going to be caused by rotors that are out of round. They're warped. There's a problem where the rotors have...
Rotor runout.
Rotor runout, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or a wheel bearing's bad.
Or it could be a combination of loose front end parts that are being exacerbated by having the rotors a little bit warped. And there's loose ball joints or loose control arms or something like that. And it's going to, do that. And this is only during hitting the brakes. Am I correct? Was that the question?
Hitting the brakes is what creates the action.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what does ChatGPT think? This is the classic symptom of warped brake rotors.
I am 100 twice today.
Amen, brother.
Wow.
Well, your wife's going to be really proud of you.
Whoa.
The uneven surfaces causing the pad to bounce.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you're feeling a shake, but a lot of times you'll feel it in the pedal too.
Yeah, but you know what? I can tell you there's in some cars that can actually be very, very dangerous because the steering wheel will oscillate very rapidly, and it's, wow. You get in some cars and people aren't complaining about it. You think, but do you drive this thing?
It's because I think it snuck up on them slowly. It shook a little, then a little more, and they didn't realize that there's really a problem there.
Boy,
until it gets so bad that, all of a sudden they wake up and there's a problem. They bring it in, and sure enough, the rotors are all warped. And once they're warped like that, they need to be replaced.
They need to be replaced, or they need to absolutely be resurfaced.
We have to cut off so much metal on there that they'll be back in another month with them shaking again. So
in some cases, that's true.
Well,
I would say this though: the reason that in most cases, why this happens is because the extreme heat that's created from the brake temperatures.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard somebody coming down from Flagstaff and they rode the brake pedal all the way down, and the thing is, by the time they got to the bottom, now they got a bad shake. Well,
when the rotors are blue instead of
they got
shiny,
those rotors. They got those rotors so hot.
Yeah, they're done. They're cooked.
Well, number 3, guys, is
number 3.
Why is my car idling rough or stumbling at red lights?
Wow, that's kind of ambiguous.
Bad motor mounts.
That's kind of ambiguous.
Most of the time, it's I would say bad motor mounts, or if it's got a misfire. You would generally see a check engine light or something. There would be a telltale sign.
I was just going to say
it wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't be labeled like that.
Right. Well, the thing of it is back to what we said earlier about asking the right questions.
You bet.
The thing of it is, if a customer came into any one of our shops and said, my car is idling rough and stumbling at red lights, the first thing we would say is, do you have a check engine light on?
Yep.
Yep.
But the way that this is labeled without a check engine light, I would probably think my first inclination would be a motor mount. Motors had settled down, mounts have collapsed, and it's sitting on the frame.
Yeah.
Well, if it's stumbling at red lights, now we're talking about acceleration. When you hit the accelerator pedal, it's not responding. The car isn't, jumping right into.
It could be a fuel-related problem. It could be.
It could be spark plugs, wires. Could be your cam lobes are getting flat, and you just got a misfire going on.
You'd normally feel that though, no more than just idling.
You guys got to remember too. We're talking about general. We don't even know what kind of car this is.
We don't. That's what I say.
So there's so much variation in there
You
too.
bet.
We've had cars where the check engine light didn't come on, and it was a fuel-related problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have thought it would have. At certain cars, it don't.
You put diesel fuel in your gasoline vehicle.
They don't run far.
Yeah, and these were all generated from ChatGPT.
Right.
I like it, but it's the top 6, asked questions. And I mean, like I say, so far, really good questions.
So what does Chat have to say to that one?
Chat has to say to this one, it typically a vacuum leak. Wow. Or dirty fuel injector. See, I said it was fuel related.
Yeah.
I'm 100.
There you go.
or
Hey,
fouled spark plugs.
way to join the club.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I said.
Do I get a jacket or something?
Yeah,
Geez, really? In modern GDI, gas-directed injecting engines, carbon buildup on the intake valves is a frequent hidden.
No question about it.
Yeah.
There's but most of the time, once again, to your point where you said, in modern cars, you're going to have a check engine light. It's going to be reflective,
right?
And it will always, with a vacuum leak, 100% of the time, will set a code of some sort,
Right?
Because of just all the other sensors.
Plugs, even with spark plugs, typically it'll set a code if you got a misfire like that.
Correct.
But there again, these questions are asked a certain way. The thing of it is when they come into our that's the difference. I mean, with
you still get your patch.
Do I still get a patch? Good deal. But with the experience that we have, and we've been doing this a long time, there's a lot of questions this would be a lot of what kind of car it is.
Correct.
Is there a check engine? We would ask a lot more really important questions
to
help us get to that.
And
we want to hone down a little bit further.
A 4-cylinder, then you will a 6-cylinder, then an 8-cylinder. Because
No question.
You still have more cylinders that are firing. Well, you have 1 cylinder misfiring in a 4-cylinder. That's 25% of your motor ain't working right. The 6-cylinder, it's only a 1/6 of it, and an 8-cylinder, it's only an 1/8 of it's not working right. So it's much more, commonplace to feel that shaking and that misfiring going on. Sometimes the check engine light will come on. The motor seems to be running just fine to the customer, but hey, how come my check engine light's on?
Oh.
And they got a misfire, a coil, a wire, a plug.
Well, even like Dave said, the buildup. I mean, let's face it, the buildup is big now, especially in the GDI motors.
100% of cars are GDI now.
They
Doesn't
are.
matter what brand they are.
They are.
For the last 8 to 10 years.
So we're going to run into that more and more. It is what it is. It's just more carbon buildup.
Oh, you bet.
So number 4, guys, is why is my car taking longer to start in the morning?
I would start looking directly at the fuel system in this particular aspect. I would look to see if we've got any kind of obstruction, that maybe a plugged injector, bad fuel pump, not enough pressure. It could be, you have a fuel pressure regulator that's leaking, and so you've got, gas going to the wrong places. Those would probably be some of the first things that I would try to anticipate.
Well, my thought on this is that the car might be an older car. The thing of it is it takes me a lot longer to get started in the morning too. I just want to make sure that we're clear here. So I mean, give the old dog a break. I mean, come on, people.
Dave, cars are not animate. They don't work like you and me.
Wow. So no, to your point, I agree with you. I think that what do you got, Glenn?
Well, there's 2 sides of this thing. Is the car cranking slower, or is it cranking normally and it's just taking long to catch and start? So on one side of the argument might be your battery's starting to get low. It's not spinning the motor as fast as it normally would.
There's another question. Yep.
So the other side of it is, if your car's taking longer because the ignition system isn't igniting the fuel as quickly, then you have another problem. It could be, plugged injectors. And in older cars that still have fuel filters on them, it could be that. And as Lee mentioned, the process that the fuel goes through, the various components prior to even getting to the combustion chamber to fire off it with the spark plugs, there could be some issues there too. Fuel pressure regulators and so on and so forth.
So, all right, here's what we got, guys. This is what ChatGPT said. I'm going with the car's old and tired. And you guys are going with some other technical BS that probably people don't want to hear.
I like it.
So anyway, weak battery. Glenn said it.
That's good.
Yeah.
You are weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Glenn gets a jacket now too. And
He gets a patch. He gets a patch.
and a jacket.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Fuel system pressure.
As long as it's not a straight jacket.
Just like I said.
Right. And you were kind of right. I don't want to get your head.
I'm claiming the patch, dude. That's a triple.
Failing starter. Just to your point, is it cranking? Is it not cranking? If the starter is on its way out, it's
Right,
gonna,
and it's an ambiguous question, so there's a lot of different things. You have to go down
right.
in a lot of different directions.
There's where experience, questions, a lot of things are into play, and how you ask these questions mean
Precisely.
you're going to get
Hey,
different answers.
what's that last one down there? Right front tire low of air?
You need glasses? Hey, this one here, dirty or failing fuel injectors, not getting
I
enough
said
fuel,
that.
not
Right.
getting enough fuel.
Right.
A sensor issue, a coolant temp sensor or crank issue, and I would even go
One
as
of the
far
five
as maybe
primary.
idle control, maybe too. Because
Crankshaft position sensor, camshaft
Right.
position sensors.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, when
O2
you-
sensors?
We all know that the vehicle needs, when it's cold, needs a little more fuel to start. And
bet.
and when you start the vehicle, your idle raises up. Sometimes we've ran into a situation where idle control, it doesn't raise up high enough and it causes the car not to want to start or causes it to die out. So there is definitely more questions that need to be asked to diagnose this correctly. And then there's the other is 10%. It's funny because a weak battery was 30%. The fuel injector pressure bleed down is 25%. Failing starter is 15%. Dirty fuel injectors was 10%. And sensor issue or coolant temp sensor or crank sensor issue was 10%. And other is 10%.
So, it's interesting that they would break it down to percentages, because why is my car taking longer to start in the morning? And it says, I think you said the number one answer was 30% with a battery. In real life, that doesn't wash. We don't see a battery issue taking a car longer to start, more so than you do.
Why is it cranking slower or whatever? I mean,
Yeah.
it's an ambiguous question. That's why I
No
said when I
question.
started
No
off
question.
answering it, I said that's very ambiguous because it doesn't specifically
Yeah.
say.
But
It's cranking slowly in the morning.
The one thing
It says it's taking longer to start in the morning.
the one thing that I do like, though, is that these are all relative. These things are all
Right.
things
Oh,
that
100%,
they
yeah,
could give
yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
that they could start looking at and checking.
People don't know
You
what
what I mean?
questions
So I
to
and I
ask.
like that. I do
I
like
appreciate
that.
the fact that these are the actual questions that
Yeah.
get asked
Yeah,
all the time.
me as well.
But people don't know what question to ask.
Right.
100%. 100%.
And that's why
right.
there's more
They'll
questions
send
that
you
are
down a
required.
rabbit hole so deep that you can't get out.
Well, they
Yeah.
don't. They
Because
don't know what they don't know.
understand.
They don't know what
Right,
they don't know.
They don't speak our language.
Yeah.
And they, not because they're foreigners, but because they're foreign to the automotive profession.
Right.
And things have changed. We've had to learn.
But
how many,
they know-
how
they
many
know-
100 new words have we had to learn?
Yeah.
In
Well,
the last couple of years.
The thing I do like, though,
Because of,
is people know what they feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know what they feel. That's the best part is, and this is, say what it is that you're feeling, and that's what they're doing here. And I like I say, I love it. This is kind of, this is kind
They're
of a fun
not
little
bad
exercise.
questions or dumb questions.
No,
They're just-
not at all.
But you can tell by the nature of the questions that these are people who don't have a whole
Right.
lot of
And these are the most
automotive savvy, you
Right.
know? So they're asking the best way that they can.
These are the
bet.
most common questions asked. So
Right.
number 5, guys, is why does it jerk when I accelerate?
Got an ignition circuit problem. Got a bad plug, bad wire. Got a bad coil. You got bad fuel.
Broken motor mounts. I mean, this,
Yeah. Well, jerking on acceleration generally is an indication, you know what I mean, that there's a misfire.
Well, either that or transmission problem.
Yeah, could be.
There could be a couple of different things there too. Back to is there a check engine light on?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I'm just making the assumption now
That's
that
exactly
they're not
it.
going to tell us that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's more questions to be had.
and,
on
and
that.
most cars are front wheel drive.
Bet.
And so, if you have axles or components, your front end suspension components, you have bad bushings. Bushings.
Yeah.
And you go to accelerate and the flipping bushings are almost gone. It's going to bang and it's going to cause a jerking
and just to your point, like you said, motor mounts, we accelerate and dunk, because it's pretty common.
Yeah, there's a number of things.
It could be a transmission. It could be a drivetrain problem, a transmission problem. It could be
I would almost think, though, that why does it jerk? You know what I mean? Because they're talking about a jerk, and I'm thinking,
It's the person behind the wheel, right? Is the jerk.
No. I'm not thinking that, Glenn.
So I'll tell you what, guys.
You must drive around ready with a bird.
It's a nut behind the wheel. There you go.
So, Lee, you're wrong.
Oh,
No.
It's
I actually, you were close. I'm going to give you that.
all right.
Ignition misfire.
I said that.
You were close. I said.
I said exactly. Ignition
Lee,
misfire.
Lee, your wife told me never tell Lee's right. Okay, so I'm here. I'm here to support her.
It's a 4-patch.
It's a match. So 30%. 30%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Transmission shifting issue 25%.
Wow.
Who said that?
You did.
All right.
You did.
Just want to make sure. Dirty, failing
That's a half a patch.
Yeah. Dirty, failing mass airflow sensor.
It's a very good one.
15%.
The fact that AI knows that. I mean, that is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty
Well,
spectacular.
and tie-in for that is fuel delivery problem, another 15%.
Yeah.
And then throttle body issues, 10%.
Yeah.
Another 5%.
Wow. I will tell
I
you
said
what.
other too.
You
so
did.
do I get another patch for that?
You get a 5% patch.
5% patch.
Well, what's interesting is that, it's jerking. It doesn't say shaking. Why does it shake? I mean, they can be interchanged or related to each other as well.
It's just triggering you because your wife calls you a jerk, isn't it?
That's true.
We got to get off of this one.
This one is going to go the wrong direction.
Whoa.
But I worked really hard for that badge.
Did you? Yeah, I know.
You guys.
He's a very important man right now. Hold on, guys. Time out.
It's my wife. I can't.
You can't shut
Hey,
her off.
sweetheart. I'm on air.
I'm sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Can I give you a call back when we get done?
Yes, of course. I didn't know it was still happening.
All right. Thanks.
We'll be done in a couple hours. All right, bye.
Wives, I'm telling you. She just called to tell him he's a jerk.
No, she.
So here we are.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
All right. So, hey guys, how about number 6?
Let's hear
Number
it.
6.
Let's hear it.
Why do I hear a clicking noise when I turn?
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna go with.
Because the turn signal's on.
Yeah, there we go.
It's not it?
I kind of like that, but I actually think it's probably a CV joint or a bad axle. Something that is there. It's directly being affected by the turn, and so I would say something in the suspension related.
Okay.
I would have to concur. It's more than likely one of the drive axles is,
Making a clicking
down.
noise.
There's probably the boot is split open and there's no lubrication in there anymore, and so it's just clicking away.
Well, and just so people out there know that the drive axles on the front of the vehicle are a little bit different than the drive line and the U-joints that go to the rear.
Correct.
And they have more of it's like a bearing and a U-joint assembly.
There's a series of ball bearings in there that sit in the yoke, and
Yeah.
then
And it has to have lubrication.
And there's a rubberized boot on the outside with 2 clamps on it. And over a period of time, from turning and stretching that boot and the centrifugal force, it starts to split the boot. The grease squirts out, and then pretty soon, if you're not going to a shop that's doing good inspections on the vehicle, would recommend replacing the axle or at least rebooting the thing, putting fresh grease in there. If it hasn't been going on, the boot's completely ripped and the axle's got dirt and sand and junk from the road that's
Road
going in
debris,
there.
yeah.
Well, water gets up in there too and wipes all the grease out of there, and then pretty soon it ends up getting dry. Like to your point, it gets
Exactly.
dry, and
It
then once it starts making a clicking noise, typically it's pretty much you're probably going to have to replace
Dave,
it.
what say you?
Well, I'm definitely looking more like a CV joint.
Good.
Yeah, the only other thing I could think of is if in the steering gear, if you have conventional steering, even
The rag joint.
even a rack and pinion, there are other components in there. There's what we call a rag joint and some other things where the steering shaft meets the gearbox. Something can be loose in there.
Well, and another thing back to the original thing is that there would be a lot more questions to be had.
There really would.
And one of the things
But the best part, and I love the fact that you've now brought that out, because the truth is, a quality service provider is going to ask questions.
and not only that, we're going to get in the car with you.
You bet.
And we're going to go around the block. I mean, we're going to.
Dave, that's a patch. That's a patch.
It's a patch. See, God, I don't know what I'm going to do all these patches now. I'm really
Man,
cool.
you got in the car, brother. Wow.
So I'll tell you what, guys.
Hey, I told you were exceptional at the beginning.
Yes.
You're going to be an Eagle Scout before you know it. You're going to have so many patches on your vest. Man.
Not only short, bald, and sexy now I'm exceptional.
I didn't say anything about sexy. I didn't. I said exceptional.
You're getting a patch taken away from you. Guess what ChatGPT said? Warning. Worn CV axle joint.
Oh,
60%.
I like it. I like
Okay,
it.
so we were kind of right
Hey,
there.
that's a 5 patch now.
Yeah, that's my patch. I think Glenn got that one though. I'm going to give that to Glenn.
Oh, I started off the whole program saying, CV axle.
But I wasn't listening.
No, he's talking about. Lee was talking about joints, but I don't think he was talking about axles.
Yeah, I know.
He went going down
Okay,
the
hey
road.
guys, get all this. 15% is loose suspension components.
I went.
Yeah.
That's where I went.
10% is brake hardware shifting. But yeah, let's not chase that rabbit hole. And then steering rack issues, 10%.
Yeah, that's that rag joint thing again.
And other 5%.
Yeah.
So, guys.
I'll tell you
The
what.
loose nut behind the wheel.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. You started out was, by using AI to diagnose and fix, cars. It sounds to me like it's pretty spot on.
well, it's close. And
It
the
is.
thing
It is close. It could get you in the ballpark. That's for sure.
Right. Before we shut this podcast down, and we've got to end it here, but I just want people to know that there's nothing right now that will replace a great service provider.
No, there's not.
Okay, so when you go in there, there's going to be a lot more questions that you're going to want to answer to kind of pinpoint it. Because here's the thing, ChatGPT right now, and these questions that we just did, it can get you, and I describe it like this: it can get you to maybe the vicinity of where the problem is. But in order for you to get down to the address and to the zip code of where the problem is, there has to be some more questions answered, some more testing has to be done. And
It'll never be able to do that.
Right. And one of the things that I don't want people to take from this is don't go in there and shotgun it. Because if you shotgun it, by the time you're done, you're going to spend thousands of dollars that you don't need. And the most expensive car repair that you'll ever have is the one you didn't need.
That's exactly right.
So-
well, and the thing I do love though is that at least they can ask if something is dangerous, and if they're feeling dangerous, you know what I mean. I would just based on what we've seen here in these 6 questions, and I'm very small sample size. I would say if it says it's dangerous, believe it. Believe it. Just like the lights in your car, they come on, believe them. Don't assume that it's not working or it has been working. No, it's I believe it.
And because I was going to say, because if somebody's had multi things that could have gone on, I would, if I was the consumer, I'd say, show me, prove it to me,
Right.
Show me a video, let me see it for myself. Not because you want to
You don't believe them.
You don't want to
You believe
disbelieve,
them. Yeah.
but you don't want to have to spend. You needed this, and they're selling you 5 things when you only needed 1. So
That's correct.
It keeps everyone in check. Make sure that you're getting exactly what you need. That's going to resolve the problem without, someone trying to add on this and this and this and this, and
There is
another.
another podcast in that. I think we need to put
and
that
one
up
thing
on
I
our
want to say
channel.
before we shut it down is that the more information that we get from the
bet.
client, the cheaper it is. And
bet.
every scenario that I've ever been involved
Amen.
in, the more information that we get, sometimes people tell us that they give us more information, they think it's going to cost more. It's the opposite.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, right.
Good information in,
We
good
can
information
we can
out.
diagnose that car a lot quicker if we get all the right information.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, it's been another great show, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And
Guys, that was a good discussion. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for your patronage, and be sure to subscribe to the Underneath the Hood podcast.
Love it. Thank you.